How much does it cost to set up and maintain a revocable trust? It depends. So a lot of times with estate planning, attorneys do adopt a flat fee model, or at least a partial flat fee model. What I mean by that is I've seen lots of law firms that have a certain set price for the documents that comprise a plan, and that's typically going to be the trust document itself, whether it's an individual trust document, a joint trust document, or sometimes it's better for spouses to have two separate trusts. So that's going to come into play, of course, whether it's one trust or two trusts. There's going to be a will. There's going to be the documents that we call advance directives. These are things like a durable power of attorney, healthcare surrogate form, living will. Our office also offers a few extras in our advanced directives package. It just depends on the law office again. But normally, no matter what's involved in that package, you'll often see be a flat fee. But then for anything else, like assistance with funding, which is the process of moving your assets into your trust, transferring them from you as the owner to your trust as the owner, and assistance with answering questions about documents, changing documents, maybe explaining things in greater detail. All these other things that come into play, or usually do come into play. Trust maintenance, which is brought up in the question. All these things can be done at an hourly rate a lot of times with most firms. So you might have a set price for the documents plus an hourly rate that you pay for anything else. Our firm does a flat fee for everything. So whatever the service is, we just assign a flat fee to it. But it's really going to depend on what's required, how involved it is, how many trusts there are, what is going into the planning. And as far as the maintenance of the trust is concerned, for many people, there's little to no maintenance with the revocable trust during their lifetime, which is great. And what I mean by that is you're going to continue being the person in control of your assets. When your assets are in a trust, you have a person who's in charge of those assets. That's called the trustee. And while you're alive, you're going to be the trustee. You continue managing your assets just how you always have. And when it comes time to report taxes while you're alive, the tax ID number for your trust is just your Social Security number. So not much changes for most people while they're alive with a revocable trust, because really the whole purpose of it was to make sure they put their assets into the trust to avoid probate. Now, sometimes there are much more complicated setups depending on the amount of assets a person has. Sometimes they do require management from even third parties or assistance with trust administration. So it can get pretty complex depending on the situation. However, the idea is, for the majority of people out there, is it shouldn't be a complicated process, and it shouldn't be something that you have to spend a ton of money on year after year, unless of course your circumstance depends on it, or it needs to be that way for you. But for a lot of people that do not have a taxable estate, so currently for couples, if that amount is $27.2 million, so if your estate is larger than that, it's going to be a taxable estate. For individuals, 13.66. So that's the amount currently. So for many people who don't have a taxable estate, things can be much more simplistic, meaning there isn't a lot of maintenance that goes into it. There's really shouldn't be any reoccurring fees, unless of course you do want to make changes to your documents, which you can with a revocable trust. Normally there might be a fee for that. And again, like I said, if your lawyer charges an hourly fee even to answer questions about your documents, you might have that come into play if you do have ongoing questions about your documents. One thing I do recommend, regardless of the type of fee structure that you end up going with, or the attorney's fee structure that you end up choosing, it's really important to not just put your estate plan on a shelf for forever and never look at it. I know it would be great to say, oh, I'm paying this amount and then I'm done and everything's great for the rest of my life. And maybe that's the case, but it's really important to take a look at these documents. We tell our clients at least yearly. In fact, we offer a plan that goes along with our plan where we'll do a yearly review with our clients just to make sure that everything is still relevant for you, to make sure that the plan still makes sense to you. Because one of the worst things that can happen is circumstances changing and you needing to change your estate plan because of it and not doing so. So that's definitely something that you want to consider. I know you're probably looking for a number in this answer. I can't give you one. It varies so wildly from office to office. Different offices charge different things. Also, different offices, their documents are way different than other offices. Like my plan comes in a very large binder, and we're very proud of the documents that we put together. And I've seen other plans that can fit in an envelope. So it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. So the price is definitely also not going to be a one-size-fits-all. But the key is that you work with a firm that you trust, that they're going to give you the product that you want and that you're comfortable with the fee structure they provide. And you should definitely get all that hashed out up front before you move forward with your plan. All right, so I hope this helps. If you have any other questions about estate planning, probate, elder law, and you're in Florida, don't hesitate to contact our office, atCause Law Office, the non-stuffy attorneys. The link is in my bio.